Well, hello there. Rob from Warfighter Made. Come on in. We get a lot of questions about our Desert Racer Flyer 22, so let's check it out. So here's 22, it's still in race shape, got all the dirt on it from Baja, Mexico. 22 is a vintage military vehicle. The story goes that there was an Israeli commando that was sent here to the States to develop some sort of desert vehicle platform in a LSV, a light strike vehicle. He came here, linked up with a company called Raceco, and the concept of Flyer was born. So there's 4 Flyers in the US. D1 was like, let's see if we can actually do this. D2 was, we can knock it out. Let's see what we're capable of producing. D3 was kind of like the test pig for all the different types of engine and transmission combinations. And then D4, which is Admiral Mike's, what he calls Flyer 1, is the what will the military actually buy vehicle. And what we have here is D2, the actual, what are we capable, all stops, pull them all out, let's see what we're capable of building. The Flyer vehicles competed for the Special Operations contract, and it actually lost to the Cheneth 3-seat dune buggy, which as a Force Recon Marine was the actual machine that I used. So after it lost, it was parked in basically a overflow lot out in Barstow, and we went and picked it up a few years ago where it had been sitting for 20 some odd years. Basically tore it all the way down to the frame and built it back up. The number 22 is a special number to us because it signifies the 22 veterans that commit suicide every day. So what we do is we put that number on our vehicles as a constant reminder that it gets better. Flyer 22 actually has a 2.4 Ecotech in it. It was donated to us by Richard's Performance Muffler. As soon as he donated the engine, it went over to Turnkey Engines, and they went through it. They added some accessories that we needed. So we're running about 180 horsepower, weighs approximately 3,400 pounds. It makes for a great, reliable, Thomas the Train doesn't quit little engine that could. Not the fastest thing in the world. We've had it up to 88 miles an hour. It absolutely doesn't like anything over 70. It just starts to vibrate and shudder, but considering the fact that this thing had a top speed of about 65 miles an hour, we're doing pretty good. The engine is attached to a Transaxle engineering transaxle and an Audi Quattro transmission. It has the prop shaft that goes all the way forward into a old school S10 front diff to give us four-wheel drive. Flyer 22 runs on Fox Shox coilovers with remote reservoirs. And in the back, we actually have an old school bump stop system. It's a fixed arm on a pivot point that assists the suspension at full bump. Flyer 22 runs on the same BFG KO2s. That's a 35 on a beadlock wheel. This tire right here has over 2,500 race miles on it. We've never had a flat. So to handle the cooling for Flyer 22, we have a radiator with a heat exchanger in it, 2 electric fans. We also have a separate transmission cooler, and we have a separate oil cooler. This is relatively a new system for us. And this last 500-mile race that we did in Baja, the Nora 500, we had absolutely 0 cooling issues with engine oil, coolant temp, or the transmission. 22 is also on a dual battery system. We use Odyssey batteries. The whole system works really, really well. So sitting in the interior of Flyer 22, we actually had a lot of recent work done. Took 22 over to Terra Dynamics just to really improve the interior, make everything more accessible, be able to see the gauges better, reach out and touch. We actually use a 2 navigation system. We are using a Lowrance, and our primary is the lead nav. As military members, we kind of believe in the 1 is none, 2 is 1 mantra. So just to ensure that we're getting the best of both worlds, we have both systems. We have our old school gated shifter. We actually are using a rugged radios along with the intercom system. AutoMeter Elite Series gauges. The reason why we choose the Elite Series is because it makes it brutally simple for us. When all systems are go, the gauges show green, and then we can program a certain point into the gauge that if it reaches this point on the gauge will either turn white, it'll turn red, and then we can set a completely different parameter that if we really need to pay attention to what that gauge is telling us, it'll start flashing red, which is telling us that something's not right. Toggle switch for the trans fan. For the oil fan, we have a redundant fuel system in here, so we have fuel pump 1 and fuel pump 2 in case one goes down. We also have our toggle switches for our Baja design. We have our driving lights, and then we also have our combo lights, which are also our cornering lights. Our rugged helmet pumpers, we have rugged switches in here, so we can actually control the amount of air that's coming into our Pyrotect helmets. Of course, we're running PRP alpha seats, custom design logo, and PRP race harnesses, PRP door bags, PRP nets. Again, because we have so many different vets that come in here and drive this vehicle of different sizes. Danny came up with an excellent system to go ahead and put pedal extensions on that allows a wider variety of veterans to operate this machine. Oh, we also have our UTV WolfPack suede steering wheel with a quick disconnect. We also have the infamous Admiral Mike pit book, which we use to win our class in the NORA 500. So the roll cage was created for us by CREO Industries. They came out, measured everything, then went back to their facility. They cut, pre-bent, notched everything, came back to Warfighter Made, tacked everything into place, and then Marine Combat Vet Ryan Devone came and welded everything up for us. Flyer 22 runs off of its original 2 fuel cell system that we sent out to Fuel Safe, and they went ahead and put a bladder and everything in it and brought it up to tech for racing organizations. We run 4 Baja design XL80s up front, combo light and a spotlight, basically a headlight and cornering light. All of our stickers were given to us by Proline wraps. The original A-arms were 25 years old and they had been beat up pretty bad and repaired numerous times. And so we got our man Adam Fitza to create 2 new A-arms, lower A-arms for us that took 500 miles in Baja and didn't have a single issue. We're using Assault Industries Sidewinder mirrors. It's a convex mirror, so it gives you a greater field of view. We really dig these mirrors. We actually replaced their bomber mirrors with these mirrors. And of course, Lucas Oil provides all the lubrication for Flyer 22. So just recently, Warfighter Made came back from Baja, Mexico, where we raced the NORA 500. We had 4 veterans out there with us in Danny Navoa, Kirsty Ennis, and Jackie Carasosa, and myself. And we shared driving and co-driving duties. So we ended up finishing first in class, and we finished 62nd overall. We actually had about a 2-hour period there where we stopped to pick up a fellow racer on the course and tow him into the next stage. And they actually finished like 4 minutes in front of us, which was a little hard to swallow. The next time you're gonna see Flyer 22 is going to be out at the Mint 400 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada.